Hi guys. I wanted to share with you a fun and funny story that I hope will make you laugh today. So you might be wondering as I'm going through this, what does a story about peeing in the woods possibly have to offer in terms of a life lesson? But I'm hoping you will be able to catch that. So here's the background. My kids have been working to earn a patch in the state of New Hampshire. If you hike to 5 of the 16 fire towers, you earn this patch for a fire tower challenge. So I started them on this journey, not knowing if they would love hiking or enjoy it really at all, and learned really quickly they really do enjoy it and they wanted to pursue this goal to get their patch. So maybe, I don't know, a week and a half ago or so, we're out in the woods and my 7-year-old daughter tells me she has to pee. And so we're in the middle of a trail, we're probably an hour from the summit. And I looked at her and I said, okay, well, we have to pee in the woods. And she said, but mommy, I don't know how. And I said, well, you've done it before. You just might not remember because it was a long time ago. And she kind of looked at me like, oh, I have to pee in the woods. And so I said, don't worry, I'll come with you and I'll show you everything to do. So picture, here's my 6-year-old daughter. She's up in the woods against this tree. I have her like squatting down as any woman could understand. And she's squatting there and she's looking at me and she's like, am I doing it right? Can I pee yet? And I'm like, hold on, put your feet a little bit further apart, squat down a little bit more. And I'm like coaching her through this. And finally I say, okay, you can pee. So she pees and her pee goes in the wrong direction, unbeknownst to me. And she starts peeing on her sock and her shoe. And so she looks at me and she's like, I'm peeing on my sock, mommy. And I said, well, it's okay. We'll just wipe it off on some leaves and we'll keep going because we're in the woods. Nobody's gonna know. And she was sort of like, okay. So that's what we did. A little while later, towards the summit of the mountain, she needed to pee again. And I said, okay, well, you know what to do. And she's like, well, I peed on my sock and my shoe. Could you help me? I said, okay, I'll come with you and I'll show you again what to do. So we get her back in the woods, near a tree, leaves everywhere. And I'm like, okay, remember how you need to squat down really low and make sure your legs are a little bit further apart. I said, and this time, like, don't move your butt when you start peeing. And so she looks at me and she says, Mom, can I pee now? And she's like in this perfect position. And I'm like, yeah, go for it. So my little girl looks down as she's peeing to see, am I doing it right? And she's peeing so hard that some of the pee splashes up and hits her in the face. And she looks at me and she says, Mommy, I peed a little on my face. And I am like trying to hold back the laughter and the tears from laughing so hard. And I just looked at her and I said, that's okay, honey. Just wipe it off with a leaf and we'll keep going. We're in the woods. Nobody will know. And we had a good laugh. So we get back on the trail. We hit the summit. We enjoy the beautiful views. They see the fire tower. We get their picture for proof we've hit this fire tower for their patch. And we start to go down. And what do you know? For a third time, she has to pee. So I said, you know what? At this point, you should be able to do this. So why don't you go ahead, and mommy has to pee too now. So we're gonna go in our own little corners of the woods and do this. So she looks at me with confidence loosely, and she's like, okay, Mom, I got it. So she goes, and I'm kind of across the woods, but I can see her. And she gets her little body down and her feet are far apart and she pees and does her thing and doesn't say anything. And I'm like, okay, I think that went well. So we get back on the trail and at maybe 5-10 minutes later, she says, Mom, the first time I peed on my sock and my shoe. And the second time I peed on my face. But the third time I peed, I was an expert. And we high-fived and I was so proud of her and she was so proud of herself. And I share this story with you because number one, I hope you're laughing. If you're not, there's something wrong. It's hilarious to me, that whole scenario. But more importantly, it made me realize anything worth learning in this life, and certainly being in the woods, this is a skill we all need. Any hikers and campers out there know this. So any skill, anything that's worth learning in this life takes practice. And when we choose to take that leap and learn something new and put ourselves out there, it's sometimes easier to think, oh, I screwed it up, I'm done, I'm not gonna try again. And my daughter certainly could have done that when she peed on her sock or peed a little on her face, but she didn't. She kept trying, she stayed committed to the process of learning and getting this right and being the expert, right? And so again, I'm sharing the story as a reminder to you to go out on a limb, choose to learn something new, take the risk. Just remember along the way, you might run into some challenges. That's what learning and growth is about, right? Don't give up, even if you pee on your face a little. Keep going, and before you know it, you'll be an expert too. So with that, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for being amazing, and I hope that this story lands for you. Bye, guys.